Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Byer. Because we had some technical difficulties and started a little late, I'm just going to wait another few minutes to go ahead and allow some time for everybody to get in here and kind of get settled. And then I will go ahead and open the floor, see if we've got any questions today. And then from there, if nobody has any questions, then I'll go through a few different things inside of decisions here. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the chat, raise a hand, anything you need. But I'll go ahead and give everybody just a few minutes to get into the webinar here since we started a little late. All right, it looks like we've got some people in our attendees list here. Does anybody have any questions coming in, or are we all just on to go ahead and see what everybody else is doing, anything new inside decisions type of thing? All right, cool. I'll take that as we're just going to be here to kind of learn as we go. What I'm going to go ahead and do, since we're kind of just here, is I'm going to go over a few different areas. Some of the questions, so I have been in charge of the submerged trainings, and I'm more on the pre-sales portion of things. So I get all the incoming beginners asking a lot of questions here. Again, my name is Ashley Byer. I'm a sales engineer here at Decisions. Some of the questions I'm getting here recently are things such as the active form flows. So today I want to go ahead and go through the active form flows. Another big kind of point of conversation is also going to be integrations. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to set up a mock integration real quick. And then the last thing I'll finish out with is just a few things inside reports and dashboards if we have time for it. So I'm going to kind of switch screens on you guys here. We're going to go ahead and set up that integration first. And it should be pretty easy to go ahead and set up, and I'll actually have you guys watch it test on through. I'm going to go ahead and be doing this from a Postman server that I've got. It's just basically a way for me to go ahead and show off the information coming in and out. I've also got a mock website that we can go ahead and use. I'll actually go ahead and use the mock website instead. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my studio here. Caitlin, can you just confirm that you can see the Decision Studio at the top? Good. Perfect. All right. Yep. And it's shared correctly. We're good there. Inside of here, I'm going to go ahead and start by creating a data type integration. This data type integration is going to be a JSON. So I'm going to go ahead and create types from JSON here. If you're going to be following along with me through this, say it's pretty easy to work through, I'm going to have you go ahead and type in a website for me. It's reqres.in. So res.in. From here, I'm going to scroll down. We're going to look for that first post one where it says create over on the right-hand side. Go ahead and click on that. What we're going to be setting up today is two different services. So we're going to go ahead and do, or two different methods to a service. We're going to go ahead and copy this JSON right here, and this is going to be our request. So what this is saying is for us to go ahead and have the information process, we need to feed the website these two fields, so a name and a job field. Come back over into that side decisions. I'm going to call this my job request because that's what it was before. Paste in my JSON there. Here, copy. Try it again. All right, there we go. Paste in that JSON structure and press create. It will take a few seconds here. So all the way in the process of that, if you come over here and copy over the JSON structure here, we're going to go ahead and call this a job response because this is the information we're going to be getting back out of this connection. Same steps as before. So create data types and integration. I'm going to come down to JSON now. We're going to create types from a JSON. I'm going to call this job response and then paste in that JSON this time. Press create. All right, now we have to set up the actual service itself. So we're going to go ahead and grab that URL that we typed in, and then we are going to come back inside decisions. I know it's a lot of back and forth between these two tabs. If I'm going too fast, just let me know. Coming back inside decisions, go to create data types and integration. But this time we're going to come down to external services, because what we're doing is we're actually going to set up a REST service. So if I come to add REST service, I'm going to go ahead and name this actually jobs, just because it's my job service here. That service URL, this is where we go ahead and paste in that rec-res.in. Make sure it has that backslash there. If we are setting up a service that needs some sort of authentication, I see OAuth all the time. We can go ahead and set those parameters, maybe even those tokens if need be. I'm going to keep it simple here. I'm just going to save off the integration. This is going to take me directly into that service folder. So we set up those two methods, and now we have a service, but we need them to all go ahead and connect and talk to each other. So I'm going to come up here to all, and we're going to go ahead and add method to service. Keep the name convention the same, so that way we can find it easy. We have that URL right here. What we're going to do now is come back over to that tab. I need the API /users, because that's what we're calling upon. So API /users. And then the HTTP method is going to be a post, because we're going to post it over. Content type, we're doing everything in JSON content. And then we're going to go ahead and serialize from data type, because we already have it in here. And so we're going to go ahead and look for job request. And then instead of raw value, we're going to go ahead and select the data type down here. So if you notice right here, I connect everything based upon what we have inside decisions. So our response is our output. And you'll see that we have the step output type right here. So this is us setting up what we want to be receiving out of that step. Job response is what we're looking for right there. And it's still going to be inside that JSON format for us. We can go ahead and press OK, and it will be connected for us. So when we are coming in to create that flow, over here on our toolbar, if we come down to integrations now, we can go ahead and expand REST services, expand Ashley jobs, because that's what we called it. And we see that integration right here. Now, once we go ahead and have the integration come over, it's loading right here. But once we go ahead and have the integration come over, we'll have to go ahead and select build data from it. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can go ahead and refresh here. But on that step, we'll go ahead and do build data, and that's where we should be able to see job as well as name, and we can go ahead and process that information. You can go ahead and set up inside, just connect the lines to it and then to the end step there, and they should be able to go ahead and see it inside the debugger. My internet's just been a little slow today. I apologize, guys. Oh, it looks like we had somebody else join us and they've got a question. Is there a way to run a conditional rule sets and have them run async and waits? So Tyson, I'm going to go ahead and allow you, we're going to go ahead and pause with this guys here and go ahead and answer his question. I'm going to go ahead and allow you to come off mute if you want.
Sure.
There we go. Perfect. So right now, do you already have those rule sets set up?
Yeah, I've got a couple of them. So I've got a main object that's collecting all of the data, and then it's passing down into the conditional sets. So I've got, let's see, 4 conditional sets separated by specific things. Wondering if we can run those 4 async. So they're all using the same data, but they're checking different things. Right now, they're running sequentially from top to bottom, which is great. But to try and speed it up, I was wondering if we could maybe run them async and wait.
So we do have like a pause step that we could do. I know we can do, like, I've personally done flows that are async, but rule sets async.
Yeah, definitely done rule flows as async. I just
yeah.
Yeah.
May I ask why you want to do the rule sets async?
Just for speed increases.
Okay. Let me see here. So I'll go ahead and resume share here. I was just kind of running through kind of my catalog inside my brain here of all the different things to walk through. On our rule sets, when we go ahead and bring one over, let me see what type of settings we have here. That's actually a really good question. Panelists, if anybody's been on and knows the kind of like where to go for this, go ahead and feel free to jump in. I'm also going to reach out to somebody else and see if they've done it before.
Yeah, I thought of like run flows for list in front of it, but then like how do you pass the conditional instance?
Well, and if you go ahead and create a rule, like the rule set.
And I'm data return with conditional.
So I was just kind of looking through the
Oh no, you're good.
the settings. So that's more about the rule itself and then how it's stored, not really like any settings we can apply to the rules. Stop processing on exception. You came in with a brain teaser already.
Yeah, you should try and come to Stump Whale, but must not be here today.
You should have waited till Monday to stump Will.
Oh, I mean, if we need to, I can come back on Monday, but
No,
yeah,
okay.
we're gonna end up with like, like 60 flows inside these 4 sets. So I mean, like it's not bad to run all 60 sequentially, but if we could run them, give it like 4 threads and just let them run side by side, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And I feel like it would almost be a little silly to go ahead and have like 4 different async flows. That would like defeat the purpose of the rule set itself.
Right. Yeah.
I reached out to a few different channels that we've got. Let me go ahead and see if we get anything back.
Cool.
I don't know. I feel like that's a good question. It's probably not the best to search for async because I'm sure it's probably like inside of a folder. Yeah, no, that's not what I want. That's just like a filler step. Let me do one more search. Have you already looked at documentation? Because I know, say the only thing I know async is flows. But
I will check documentation again right now just to make sure.
I'm on there too for your documentation. That's where I was checking. Yeah, so for the tags for async, I'll pull over the webpage. So the tags for async here, I've got the flow design and then like subflows and stuff. So I don't think we've ever thought about doing the rule sync or the rule set async.
Okay, but yeah, it's not bad.
So,
I just, I haven't had a problem yet that hasn't had an answer. So I was gonna just see if there was one.
you know what? I was about to say, I'm sure there's still going to be an answer though. So let's figure out a way maybe around the async. So the reason why we're wanting to do async is because we're wanting all 4 rules to run at the same time and then wait.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're all like, it's a data return in the rule set. So they're all returning the same object type. And, we'll have like 60 of them spread across 4 different categories. Just any, we'll be running this 150,000 times a month. So just any type of speed.
Okay. And then, so are you already using the pause flow?
I am not.
Okay. I wonder if we need the async at all, if we can just have a pause flow after the rule runs.
Okay.
So it's literally just called pause flow. And inside of here, you can actually set a time. So here, if I go ahead and do constant, I can go ahead and have it pause to a certain time. I think we can also do converter. There should be a way to also do like a time span. We might have to run a converter to go into that time span there. But you should be able to set for like, I did it on a project where it like paused for like 5 minutes and then it would run through.
Okay.
Mhm. But yeah, let's try that pause flow after. I wonder if we don't even need the async to be there. Again, I reached out and then Caitlin has your question here. So if we go ahead and get an answer to that, we can follow up with you, Tyson.
That sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we've got another question coming in. Can we go ahead and take them off mute, Caitlin, for us? All right,
Yes,
so yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, I think it is better for me to share my screen or okay.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. Please keep in mind that we do have other people from like that are still using decisions on this call too, okay? So any sensitive information, make sure you've got, you're safe or whatever.
You'll also need to re-unmute yourself as well.
All right, so while he's pulling everything up here, it says that just in the Q&A that we have for you guys.
Okay, I think sorry,
you
I
back?
just mute. Yes, I'm back. Basically the flow looks like this. I have a form and a flow. And then my flow is like me, you, and the other person. I have a couple of a list of users. They can receive an email to approve the form. For example, me, myself, already approved the form, and the other user are not no need to approve the form, right? Because I already approved and goes to the next step. Then how can we set up for the assignment setup for me, you, and the other person? But it is only one person who will approve the form. I think I will share my screen to you. Okay. Right now, the screen is this. I have this. Can you see my screen already?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it's loading for us.
Yes.
So probably the first place I'm gonna have you jump to once this loads is the actual form itself, because I'll want to go ahead and see the assignment setup for the form.
Yes. Just wait a minute. Yeah, the server is
Okay.
a little bit slow.
You're okay.
Okay. Okay. Right now it's over here.
Okay. We'll just wait for that proper span to load.
This is the assignment setup. Account and the groups, I set it to me and Azure.
Okay.
So both of them, maybe I prepare my things. Okay, the email. Both of them receiving the email to approve for this step, to acknowledge of this step. And then why I'm receiving this an error message, I try to debug. And I running this flow. I submit. I will be reaching to the acknowledgement after this. After this is the acknowledgement part, right?
Okay, do me a
Yes.
favor. Okay, is this where we go ahead and have issues?
Yes, I have an issue. As you can see already, over here, the account and the group, me and Ezra. I already got the email for pending acknowledgement seal custodians.
Okay,
And
go back to
then-
the debugger, open up that form, and then press the acknowledge so that we can go ahead and see the error come through. Because right now it's just sitting on that form.
Right now, can you see my flow already?
Yeah, so right now we're looking at the inputs and outputs. You said that we've got an error that comes through.
Okay, so right now, me and Ezra already receiving the email. So I would like to acknowledge this process, right?
Okay,
Acknowledge this. But why I try to cancel it first, and then I go to the data, to the process details. I little bit goes down to the end. After that, I go and check this pending acknowledgement seal custodians. The assignment is in June or Asia, right? But why I don't have something like this, like pending acknowledgement, like
because
the button?
so yeah, I can go and tell you why. Go back to your flow.
Okay. Actually, I want to acknowledge, yeah, either me or Asia.
It's the way that you have it set up. So going into your flow, go back to that form that you're talking about, or just any of those forms over there. The way you set up the form, is it two buttons on the actual thing itself?
I think this one.
All right, click on the form and actually go ahead and edit the form for me.
Edit the form or just the assignment?
Nope, edit the form, please. So these buttons down here at the bottom, I need to make sure that they're actually going to go ahead and do something.
Acknowledge.
Okay, go over to the cancel. Click on the cancel for me.
This one just close the form. There's nothing to do with the processes.
Okay, so I think these are going to be two different buttons. If we're wanting this to loop to another assignment or to another action, or even loop back to the form itself, we'll need a pathway that allows acknowledgement to go down one path for you guys and then cancel to go down to another path. So it
Because
may
the
be a
cancel
difference
is
with
just
the
to
different
close the
types of.
form. That's it.
Say again?
Cancel. This cancel button just close the form.
Okay, so what's probably happening is its decision sees that the form is being opened, and then the cancels, if it's just closing up the form, it's probably basically just waiting out there. So we usually go ahead and like close out a form if we don't need the information to go anywhere else. So me personally, I usually use the action buttons like that for like closing out the form to just be a part of like a sub dialog box or something like that when we're reviewing information, not when an
Okay.
action needs to be taken afterwards. So
But
it may be a
by
difference of
right-
just changing.
By right, over here, right? When I click here to respond to this task, I receive an assignment error. The assignment is already completed by this. By right, I never touch the acknowledge button.
Yeah, so what happens when you're closing out that form is it's kind of getting like lost.
Okay, maybe I will restart again the debugging.
What happens when you press acknowledge versus cancel?
right now already achieved until this acknowledgement section. And then I go to this data again, right? For item number 26, right? Over
Press
here,
acknowledge for me. What happens? Right, because that action's pending.
okay. So I can acknowledgement. How about if I close this form?
Oh, do it and see.
Okay, I try to refresh again, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think it's exactly what I'm talking about. So on your form, you've got two different types of buttons there. So if you change on your form that cancel button, if we were to like save a checkpoint, so go in and edit your form for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you
Oh,
save as a checkpoint so that we can go ahead and restore from backup if you ever need to. But we're gonna go ahead and make an edit to your form. To that acknowledgement form.
acknowledgement form.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so you see how cancel, we've got the common properties down here, and it's basically just a button, but acknowledged. Click on acknowledge for me. Mhm. We see that it's a little bit different. So it's actually gonna have an outcome come out of it, which is why for forms, sometimes we can have multiple different pathways. So the information can go down that pathway. So we're actually gonna go ahead up at the top, save as a checkpoint for me, top left-hand corner, third button to the right.
Checkpoint.
Yep, let me go ahead and get my annotation out. Yep. Just in case we need to go ahead and revert back to this. Perfecto.
Okay.
All right. And then I'm gonna have you delete cancel. Yep. The entire form control, just the entire button. We're gonna go ahead and delete that guy. Yep.
Okay.
And then go ahead and choose this button, drag and drop it down here at the bottom. And call it cancel. Or close, whichever one you want. Yeah.
And then?
So now it's gonna have a second line come off of it. So go ahead and press save now, and we're gonna go into the flow.
Basically, the cancel button is just to close the button. That's it.
So if we just, all right, so maybe we don't even need that then, because if we have a button that's gonna go ahead and close versus using the X at the top of the,
Last time I used this close button.
okay, and this is why the information is getting lost. Because the close button we use more commonly on things like sub dialog boxes versus if we close this right here, that information is like lost in wherever it was at the time. So that information is not able to go ahead and process off of the form anymore.
Okay. So
So
I
if
go
we,
and save it.
well, let me ask a question. Is this cancel just for us to close the form?
Just close the form.
Okay, well, maybe we don't even need the cancel button.
No need the cancel button.
But there's an X at the top of the form for you to close.
But
Are we wanting the
the-
information to go down a different pathway for the cancel button?
But the user want to have an acknowledge and the cancel button. But the cancel button will nothing to do, just close the form. That's it.
Okay, do me a favor. Can we try it like this one time? And then if this doesn't work, we can always take this offline with support.
So we use a close button or just a normal button.
Right. Save it just like this without the cancel button down there. And then let's go ahead and take it through the process, debug the entire flow like we did before, and let's see, let's work through it together.
Okay, so just don't save it first, right?
No, I needed you to save it. Because we're going to get rid of the cancel button. We've already created a backup or a checkpoint for a backup there. So we can go ahead and
Yes,
revert
yes.
at any time. So go ahead
Yes.
and
Okay. So let's do debug one more time, right?
right. So, yep.
Okay, can we try to, there's no more cancel. So this one, should we cancel?
Okay, so like I've been saying here a few times, and we can definitely take this offline to support if you would like to go and continue this further. The cancel button is going to go ahead and save this information right here, and it's not going to go anywhere. That's why we're not seeing it update anywhere else or anything like that. So when we cancel this, you're not seeing that option to go ahead and acknowledge this task anymore inside your activity panel because it kind of gets lost here. So
But the cancel button, I also want to the similar function as this close. Cancel means to close the form. That's it.
So the close button that you use is going to go ahead and basically just close out everything, which is where we start losing the information. If we want to go ahead and have it circle back around to where that assignment can still be there, we'll need to use the same button as acknowledge, but call it cancel, which is what I was trying to have you do to set up. Caitlin, let's go ahead and see, let's get his email real quick. Let's see if we can go ahead and have a support ticket placed in so that we can really kind of go through step by step with him on like how to do this best for his use case and kind of dig into the details a little bit more for you, Adrian. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So
See.
this cancel button, I should need to replace with other button or no need?
Yeah, that's the button I was trying to have you do earlier. So just a regular button, not a close button. That will give you another pathway off of this form so the information can go somewhere. What you can do at
But the
that point is
regular
actually
button,
loop it
how
back,
can I do
or you can
a
go ahead
close
and do
button?
a different type of data structure, which is going to be a case entity, and it sets it up just a little bit different. So I think that's why we may need to open up a support ticket to really start to understand your use case a little bit, so we can go ahead and guide you in the best possible direction. Okay?
Okay. But for the
Okay.
cancel, but if I use the normal button, right?
You can go ahead and try. I think you end up not saving that and canceling that. And I think you press don't save. So when you press cancel here, I think it's going to be the same as it was before.
If I use the normal button, there's a path that I need to assigning to the step, right?
Say again?
Okay, because the cancel button is to cancel the process, is to go close the form. But if I use the normal button, there is a outcome that I need to drag from the cancel button to another step, right?
Yeah. So I think there might be a little bit of confusion here. And we may need to go ahead and, like I said, go ahead and jump on the support ticket. We've got your email here. I can go ahead and place it in for you to go ahead and just take a few minutes, dive into kind of what you're wanting out of this, what your expectations are to go ahead and complete that form and really help you through that kind of hurdle we've got here for you.
Okay.
To go ahead and process that. I know we had Tyson. I wanted to go ahead and follow.
Sample this. I have a sample form for this one, right? This form has the button. Just wait a minute. Yeah, pretty slow the server. So slow.
Yeah, so Adrian, I've got I'm going to go ahead and finish out the support ticket for you, and then we can have somebody kind of work one-on-one with you. We do have other people here for the attendees list. So I want to go ahead and make
this
sure.
This one is a confirm button, right? This one is a normal button. I drag it from this, but there is an outcome like this. I need to drag to somewhere else, right? But how can I close this form? Should I need something like this, or what step that I need to do?
Go ahead and debug for me. Nope, go ahead and debug for me. You don't need an actual like button in order to close the form. That's why we created the X button at the top of the form. So if you debug this process here,
the normal button is something like that, right?
No, please connect it for me again and then press debug. So for us, yeah, press full, yeah. Close is just right up here. That's where we go ahead and use that close. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when
But
we have
I want-
assignments, it'll go back to the queue for the assignment.
Yes, but I want this, for example, confirm button is the same function as this close.
Okay, so I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with you on this here. Like I said, we can set up a support ticket. I'd much rather go ahead and dive down into the details of why you want it like that and how we can better assist you in your process here, than take this further with other people also that might have questions on this call here. So I do apologize that I can't answer that for you right now, but let's go ahead and set up a support ticket. Tyson, I know there's a little bit of back and forth going for you here. I did go ahead and reach out to the guy that I thought might have used it before. And he said that, so the async is used for more things that are linked outside of a flow
Okay.
there. And that's how we use that term there. So go ahead and try out that pause step for me and let me know if that works out for you. And if it doesn't happen to where you do it here during our webinar, that's perfectly fine. I know we've got just a little bit of time left. But if that doesn't work, go ahead and let us know. Today is only Wednesday, so you can always join back tomorrow too. I can join tomorrow and see if we've got any other questions there. But there's kind of just a difference for the async term there. All right, and then Adrian, I'm gonna go ahead and finish out the support ticket for you so that we've got that in the queue. And then I'm just kind of reading through everything here. Yeah, so async is a little bit different. So Tyson, from what you were saying, for what like your purpose behind it was to have those 4 rules run. And then Caitlin, can you take Tyson off mute for me? I'll let him talk if he needs to.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you. So we have those 4 rules run and then we want to pause, right?
Yeah, it's well, like, yeah, so we don't want it to move on to the next step until all of the checks are completed. So this idea, this is an interesting, so I'm glad I came to Lunch and Learn. So we would, instead of having the step in the main flow that just says run rule set, it would be async and run. And then inside of that, we're running each item through the async and run through run flows for list probably. And inside of that, there'd be the rule set of run the rule set for this person or this item. It's an
You
interesting
guys got
concept.
so much complexity. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try that. And I'll
Okay.
are you around tomorrow? I might swing in tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and join tomorrow for you guys.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and finish up the support ticket here. Before we sign off, does anybody else have any other questions? Awesome. Caitlin, are we good to go ahead and close today out?
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
All right, sounds good. You guys have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.